Today we're going to be talking about forecasting. For the next several episodes, we're going to have something related to forecasting. And today I'm coming with my inner Steve Jobs, baby. You're going to love this episode. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode today, we're going to be talking about this notion, this idea, this concept, the principle of forecasting. You're going to hear from our guests over the next several episodes, the series that we're going to continue affiliated with forecasting, topics that tie into that. Today, I want to go over some basics about forecasting and go over 3 things that you need to understand when it comes to effective forecasting as a sales rep. If this is your first time listening to our podcast or watching one of our videos, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Also, leave us a rating and review. That would be greatly appreciated. Just tell us how you're loving the show. Tell us what you like about it. Tell us how I'm awesome. If you want to do that, that's cool. Or just maybe the guests. They're probably more awesome than I am. So go ahead and leave a comment. Would greatly appreciate that. One more time, salespeople who perform well know how to forecast. And if you don't know how to forecast, you're going to waste your time. It's kind of like flying with bad information. So let's say you're flying an airplane and it's cloudy outside and you feel that this mountain is only, it's not that far, it's far away. When in actuality, the mountain may be, a couple miles away. That could be very dangerous. And oftentimes we find that sales reps, they have bad data or bad information when it comes towards forecasting. They feel that they have a long time to hit their quota, but that quota is going to creep right up on you. They feel that they have stuff in their pipeline, but that stuff is garbage and it's not effective. So I'm going to talk to you about that and go over 3 things that you can do to have better forecasting. Know your data. When I first started, and I always stress this, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over until I turn blue in the face because it's so important. When I started off selling, I knew my data performance. I knew how many calls it took that led to a conversion, how many conversion or conversations led to a demo, how many demos led to a sale, and how many sales led to me hitting my number at the end. Because I knew this, it then altered the way that I perform. It altered what I did each day because that's going to be able to, that's important, right? That's going to be impactful. If I know that I'm doing well, if I continue at the pace that I'm doing, I'm going to continue to get the X amount of appointments, then I need to make sure that that's running on autopilot. I need to make sure that the next level of the process is fine-tuned. How am I doing on those discovery calls and how am I doing on those demos? I'm going to continue spinning that first plate. I'm going to continue prospecting every single day because I knew if I put my 2 hours of prospecting in, then that's going to lead to an appointment, which is awesome. I get my appointment, I'm good to go. You can't stop it because if you stop it, it's going to mess up your forecast later. I'll point that out because your pipeline is tied directly to your forecast. Makes sense, right? So I want to keep that plate spinning so I can keep my pipeline filled, so I can keep an effective forecast. Now, my sales leader is going to be doing the forecasting for the organization, but I need to be doing a forecast for my territory, for my pipeline, my quota, or what I call a small business as an entrepreneur. Like if you think about it yourself as an entrepreneur, you need to make sure you understand information. So some of the more data points that you can understand, again, your averages, your percentages, how many calls, how many emails, how many demos lead to that result that you're looking for as far as a sale or a deal close. Also understand like your average, your average call time. Like how well do I do on my calls right now? How can I improve those calls? How many people do I need to have a part of that process? I know some of us have sales enablement tools and some data tools that can help us with that. But how many people do I need to have on a deal at any given time in order for my deal to progress? So typically my discovery meetings, do I have 3 or 4 people in a conversation? Well, now I have 1 person in the conversation. Is it likely that this deal is going to progress? Probably not. So I need to make sure I understand those data and that I'm living by those simple data points. Number 2, what indicates someone will buy? Oftentimes you find that prospects will come into the process and they will want to throw things around because they're salespeople as well in their organization. So they'll say, just show me a demo right away. Like, bro, I know you want to see a demo. I need to be able to understand if you're worthy of a demo. I have one of my friends who told me one of the companies that he worked at, they were spending their time doing demos to smaller clients that weren't a fit for their business. So what they decided to do, they recognized the data that those smaller companies are not, oftentimes are taking just as much time as a larger company, and the money that they're getting from the smaller company isn't great. So they need to spend their time, obviously, on a larger company. So on their website, they had something set up where someone came in, they filled out information, the data set that they put in was able to indicate if they got a demo or not. And because of, if it was a single person, they were able to watch a simple little video that explained how the product worked. And if it was a larger organization, they were able to have an appointment, which was able to then help them to get qualified or get the right qualifying information, which then made for a more meaningful demonstration. They didn't send their best salespeople out to do demos for people who had one individual in their company. Number 3 is that you need more than you think you need. What I mean by this is that we know that no matter what you could have done everything perfectly. You could have done the most amazing discovery calls, the most amazing demonstration. You did everything right and all the planets aligned and everything worked out great, and you cross your T's and dot your I's, and the deal still didn't close. Why? I mean, something could happen like really, really small bacteria virus that could attack the whole world and shut things down. Hey, it has happened before. I'm just saying. Or perhaps there could be a war that breaks out between two neighboring countries. Or perhaps your person that was working there got sick and now is in the hospital. Or perhaps somebody got a promotion and went to a different department. There could be a number of reasons, things that were outside of your control. So if that's the case, you got to make sure you have more than you think you need. So if I look at the data and it says typically that I need maybe I need to close 40 deals this year to be able to hit my quota, to be able to hit my target, well, I'm probably going to put 60 deals in the hopper just to be safe. Now, you're not going to necessarily sandbag. Some of those deals may not necessarily come this year, but come for the next year. But I'm just trying to protect myself because I know that the probability of all those deals closing is not that high. I mean, it's not that great because of, or maybe there's it should be a high probability deals will close. However, I know it's a probability because things will happen. Crazy stuff will come up. So have more than you think you need. Therefore, you need to do more prospecting than you think you need, and you need to have more demonstrations than you think you need. You need to have more people in a pipeline than you think you necessarily need. If you can do this simple stuff here that I just explained, you're going to have a decent forecast. Your months, your weeks, your quarters are going to be tied up properly, and that proper tying of information, that proper prediction is going to lead to a better performance, and you're going to be one of those reps on the team that your supervisor and your team lead and your boss don't have to worry about because they know you get the job done. When it's all said and done, guys, this is what I want for you. I want you to be able to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to take advantage of our sponsors. They're giving out some amazing offers, some amazing deals just because you're listening to this podcast and you're pretty cool. And finally, I just want to inspire you each and every single day that you're reaching your full potential. You're doing all that you can, that you're going out and you're doing big things. I appreciate you watching today. Thanks so much.